Good morning. It's Monday morning, and sitting here eating breakfast and drinking some coffee, getting ready to head out. It's it's like 5:30. Got about an hour till it starts to crack light, and got a trail, and I'm gonna go. It's a little ways of a drive over to it, but it's on a bench. It sits at like 10:4, and the ridge up above it's like 11, just over 11, and then it drops off into a canyon that goes clear down to like 98 or something like that. So, but it's big wide bench, has some lakes on it, and looks like there's some dark timber. So I'm gonna go check it out, hike in there, rip some bugles, see if I find any sign. And up on top of that ridge, and then in a couple miles, like it's not very far, once you get to the top of that, is where that burn is, where we were on Saturday. But it's without, I think even where we're at, I think the elk, it's not that far for an elk to go from where we are up and over that, especially as migratory as they are and as easy as they move around the country. I would venture that most of the elk are up in that country, because I am not finding any sign down here in the last couple days. Turns out that to hunt this area, you either need one four-wheelers to even get to access the places that you need to get to where the elk are, because I've come up this road forever, now I've got to a point where I can't take the truck any further and I can't even get to the spot where I need to go. Or you need pack animals to get in a different route to be able to get them back out again. So I feel like this is kind of a lost cause at this point. So I think I'm gonna go tear down camp, and I can be hunting mule deer in Wyoming by this evening. So I think that's where I'm headed. Alright, well, I decided that since I'm here and I've got the tag, I might as well give it everything I've got. I'm going to go make a loop. This is one of the places I had picked out to start with Kelsey. And it goes, you can't really see through the mirror, or the window, I'm still sitting here. But, let's see if I can pull this. Well, that made it worse. The sun must be over there. Anyways, up, there you go. We're gonna make a big loop up through that. It goes up a couple 100 feet, and then I'm gonna make a big loop around and come back to here. It's about 7 miles, and we're gonna do that this afternoon, evening. And none of it'll be. It's a 7-mile loop, but anywhere along in there, you know, I should be able to get an elk out by myself over the next couple days, so I'm gonna try that. Just need to quit being soft. Talked to a guy down here, frustrated, a minute ago, and they knocked down a bull this morning. They said the elk are up in here, but there's a ton of people. But nobody's parked here. They're all parked at the trailhead, and they're all up that trail somewhere. So I'm gonna try this. If I run into a bunch of people, or this blister I've got gives me too much trouble, that might be it. But I don't think there's any sense in going to Wyoming at this point, because it's gonna be the same thing there as it is here. That's pretty accessible unit, and lots of roads, so I'm gonna have the same problems there that I'm having here. Now, one place that you can't use four-wheelers down there, it's burning, so I might as well just stick it out and keep pushing on and do this. Just sometimes you just got to get out of your own head and stick to the plan. There's less people than there was here over the weekend, and it's just part of it. You just got to go, and it's time for me to suck it up and just do it. Got a new camp set up. I was gonna go to Wyoming and try to fill that mule deer tag that I had, and for whatever reason I just decided that I need to gut this out and just tough it out and be here. This is what I came to do. I didn't come here to quit or go home or go do something else. I came here to find an elk, and I got tonight and all day tomorrow and all day Wednesday to find an elk. And there's elk here. This is my original plan. Plan A, B, and C are all right here. And I don't know. There's less people, and since I got over here this afternoon, more and more people have left. So talked to a kid come over and talked to me while I was setting up my tent, and he said that a lot of people have left. He said there's been bulls shot. They haven't got into them, but they've talked to people, and lots of guys are killing elk. So I'm gonna get this out. They're in here. I just got to put in the time and do the work, and kind of what I've been doing, I guess, is the way that what everybody does is you kind of just poke around in the woods until you find one, because it's so thick that you can't glass one, and you just kind of got to still hunt through this dark timber until you find an elk. So that's what I'm gonna do. Elk tracks. Since it snowed yesterday, they've kind of melted out, so it was probably early this morning, but at least we know there's elk. This is some nasty, steep, scraggly deadfall, so if we get into one, it's gonna happen fast. I doubt if I can get it on camera, because it's hard to do. Take a snapshot with and film at the same time. I'd much rather get one killed and miss the kill shot than not shoot one, because I wasn't willing to do it off camera. So if you don't like it, too bad. Super fresh elk crap. I don't see the tracks, they've melted out. I don't know which way he went. The wind, we're gonna work with the wind on our face. Go this way. Hopefully it's the right decision. So there's elk tracks that go the direction we're headed, and there's boot tracks going the other way. And it sounds like there's a bugle up here, but it's done it enough times that I can't imagine it being an elk. It's got to be the wind blowing through something, but you never know. It's in the direction we're headed anyways, so. Look at that. The wind's changed directions, but I turned around hiking up the hill coming up, and I saw that and all the snow on that cap over there, and I'm just like, it doesn't even matter anymore, because it I don't know, my whole attitude changed. I'm just in a super cool place chasing elk, and there's an elk sign all over the place up here on top of this hill, And I don't know, my whole attitude changed. Now I'm just like, instead of being hell-bent on shooting an elk, I'm just like, let's have fun. And if we shoot one, that's just icing on the cake at this point. Like, I don't know why my attitude changed like that. Just flipped a switch. Here's some elk tracks again. I'm right through here. Glassing from the point all the way down over to here, and there's a hunter right there. It's a spot I had marked to glass. I think I have a better glassing spot where I'm at than the spot that I had marked. Hard to get to him, but I can see him from there. Monday night's hunt. Went and wandered around. I got into elk sign, fresh elk sign. So there's that, but man, they're in the deep dark timber here, and it's steep, which is fine. That doesn't bother me. It's the steep with nothing but like pickup sticks, deadfall everywhere that you have to get around and through, which is fine. Other than that, it's just the same thing for miles and miles of just picking your way through that stuff, hoping that you can see an elk, and you can't see more than 30 to 50 yards at a time anyways, and you could be close to one and never even know it. So this is not the hunt that I was really anticipating. I was expecting more more glassing opportunities, I guess. But after talking to several people today, it doesn't sound like that's really the way that this unit operates. It's more of a, just still hunt through the deep dark timber and hope you stumble upon an elk, which is kind of crazy because the elk are getting pushed around, so they're moving every which way, and you're moving, and so it's just a matter of you being in the same spot as them and hoping that you can maybe get a shot, which is not very likely. So I did sit up on top of a knob and glass till dark, and all I saw was hunters, and that's a tough place to get into, so where they were, so I don't know. And there's other tracks. I saw another hunter kind of hunting the same area I was in. Several different sets of boot tracks that had been through where I was today. So, I mean, between the pressure and everything, I think this would be an awesome spot. It's Tuesday. Got today and tomorrow left of season here in Colorado. Man, I have struggled the last couple days with wanting to stay. Between the people everywhere and it just being, hard to find elk that are in a spot where I can get them out by myself, and the style of hunting is not, it just, I don't know, I kind of grew up doing it in Minnesota, but there's nowhere to glass. It's just what it is, I guess. And I'm struggling with that, wanting to keep going. It's not the hunt I wanted, so I'm not having the fun that I thought I would have, and I just need to suck it up and keep going. There is a fire over the mountain here somewhere, and I see as I'm pulling up to the trailhead, the fire trucks are here, and they were in a different spot yesterday, which tells me that they must not be getting it under control. So pulling up here to where we parked last night, and there's a truck sitting there. Now, I don't know if they're not actually off the road, I guess. I think they're looking at the mountains, because look at that. I don't know if you can see that or not. The GoPro doesn't give you. There's a spot up here around the corner, I think, that I dropped a pin on last night when I was in there. And I think I can get to where I was yesterday a little bit easier than the way I went. The road's high, it goes up, and so you start out at a higher point and don't have a huge cliff face to climb like I did last night. I wouldn't say it's a cliff face, but it was a pretty good jump to get up there. So this morning, the game plan is to kind of work our way in from where we were last night, but from a different angle. We're just gonna bugle our way in and work through that whole area again. It's just deep, dark timber, and it's kind of between just wandering around in it and doing a little bit of bugling and cow calling. I don't know what else to do but to try to find them that way. So that's kind of our game plan. Came down there and he went up that way. Yeah. That is elk shit. Tracks didn't look that big. It didn't look like that big. Here's another one. The tracks are over a day old. Who knows where they're at? There's no sense in following them at this point. And I think it's a cow and a calf. And all we have is a bull tag, so. Everywhere I go, there's boot tracks. It's frustrating. The fire chopper's flying again today, so they must not have got the fire out. I think I'm gonna go. I'm already working my way back up and around to the truck. Got into some cow sign, no bull sign, and lots of footprints from over the last several days of people. So I'm already working my way out towards the truck. When I get out there, I'm gonna go up to where the fire trucks were stationed yesterday and check on that whole deal, and then if they're not getting that under control, I might just cut out of here. I don't want to get caught up in something like that. Oh, hey, here's my boot tracks. So I think that's what we're gonna do at the moment, is go check on the fire. This is discouraging, you know. You pick up a tag. It didn't look like there was, when I got it, there wasn't there was a ton of them left over. I think they did sell out. But I get up here and there's just people everywhere. And now for a limited entry unit, this is ridiculous. So I think I just need to do better research next time. And if there were places I could go where you could actually look, but the way this unit lays out, it's just dark timber and it's just rolling blowdown, basically dark timber. And because there's so many people, the elk aren't coming out in the open, they're staying timbered up. And I think that basically all you're doing is wandering around out in the woods hoping to stumble across an elk within 30 to 50 yards in a spot where you have an opening to shoot him, because there's nowhere, it's so thick that you can't see any further than that. And you get in 2-3 miles of no trail and just up and down blowdown. You're dropping down a drainage and you go up the other side and it's all blowdown going all the way through it, and you run into people. And I think that it just sucks the fun out of it. Like, it'd be one thing to do that and not be people and find elk. It'd help if they were bugling and you could get on them, but just to randomly stumble upon an elk is doesn't seem very likely to me. So I think I'm gonna go tear down camp and head back towards home, try to do some bow hunting with Kelsey over the weekend.